What's up, guys? This is Justin. I'm here with Dan.
Hi.
And we are taking a look at Frozen Synapse on the iPad. This game's out today. It's $6.99 on iOS. And Dan, do you remember what the PC one costs?
I believe it launched at $15, but for that you got 2 copies.
Right. So it's comparable to the PC price. So here's the deal. If you are sort of, keeping up with Twitters or, the forums or, the whatnots,
and the whiz-bangs.
People are making a big deal about Frozen Synapse. And
as well they should.
As well they should, exactly. So this is one of those games that's been on my list since it came out last year, 2 years ago? Last year.
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And I've had it on Steam. I never really got around to playing it, so now I'm really glad it's on the App Store because it finally gives me a chance to sort of see what all the fuss is about. But Dan, you've played a lot of Frozen Synapse, correct?
I played the hell out of this game on PC. It has been a while since I played it because I actually had to make myself stop playing it so that I could play other things.
So I'm in the driver's seat here. My first initial snap impression is that, I downloaded this, I was checking it out this morning, and I said, ooh, that HUD. Those buttons are not pretty looking, but, it's a little bit like seeing into the Matrix, like once you kind of understand what everything does, these buttons all start to make sense. But,
it's a more cluttered UI than it is on the PC, but that's because, the input is different.
Yeah, they had to fit everything on to these sort of touch screen inputs. But Dan, why don't you just go ahead and tell people sort of, I'm going to queue up some moves and give people sort of the 10-cent tour of what the heck's going on with Frozen Synapse.
Well, it is a simultaneous turn-based tactical game. And what that means is that you and your opponents give orders at the same time, and then you can test them out. What Justin's doing right now is to queue up these orders. Everybody gets a set of orders at the same time, and then you can test them to see what will happen, assuming the enemies don't move. Actually, one of my favorite tricks is you can give the enemies orders for the simulation.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah. So you can see what would happen if he goes. What happens if he goes over here? And that will let you, see how your guys will react and test your orders until you get them right.
That's actually really cool. Let's come back to that because that's some advanced level stuff. Or I had no idea that you could actually do that.
Yeah, it completely changed the way I played. So you both send your orders into the server at once. It combines them, plays it out, and then sends the results back out to both players.
So I have queued up some orders here, and again, it's sort of abstract. These are not sort of fancy graphics, but once you sort of understand what each icon means, I've given some move orders and some aim orders, and each turn then takes place over 5 seconds in real time, or a few seconds?
5 or 10, I forget.
5 or 10 seconds, a few seconds of real time.
Let's see what happens when you play it.
And so we can test it out, and it'll see, here's what my guy is going to do over his turn, and here's what this guy is going to do over his turn.
It is definitely 5 seconds.
And so I can actually already see that I didn't aim this in quite the right spot through that test. I wanted it to hit that wall, but it just misses the wall.
Right.
So I need to readjust my aim a little bit, aim up here instead. And now let's do it for real. And now, like you said, my units are going to move at the same time that the AI's units move, so you need to try to anticipate what they're going to do.
Yeah, this game is all about getting in the other guy's head and predicting what he's going to do, where he's going to be 5 seconds from now.
Right. Oh man, I got my butt kicked.
Yes,
here.
you did a little bit.
So
I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay, well, yeah, it's because I'm very new to this. I'd never played this before today, even though it's a game that's right up my alley. I like strategy games. I like thinking games. So you can rewind and sort of see. Here's what I do: is I let my turn run, and I'm like, oh, that was sort of a jumbled mess. But you can, roll it back and then see, person by person what happened. Like, how did I screw up down here? Let's take a look at that.
And there are different options. You can play in light mode or dark mode. In light mode, you can see everything about where the enemy is at all times. In dark mode, it's line of sight driven.
Like Fog of War.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, I'll tell you exactly how I screwed up. What I thought was going to happen was, let me pause. I had this guy right here. I had him aiming straight up, and then I had him, moving in front of this doorway,
strafing to the side.
Yeah, strafing to the side, thinking that's where that guy was going to go. But then actually, this rocket launcher up here just ended up blowing the crap out of me. I didn't think it would be able to reach there that fast. So that's how he got blown the heck up. And at the same time, the AI guy didn't go where he thought he was going to go.
Or where you thought he was going to go. Yeah.
Where I thought he was going to go, correct. Oh, and I got rocked up here, too. How did this one happen? Oh! Okay, so I'm in real trouble here already.
There is just a ton of nuance you get into with these orders because, like you've got several different classes of guys. You've got a machine gunner, you've got a sniper, you've got a shotgunner, and you've got a rocket launcher.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah. So each guy has a different weapon, or you can have multiple ones depending on the setup of the map.
Right.
And all of them have very different behaviors. the machine gunner, for example, takes a little bit longer to fire than the shotgunner, but the shotgunner is obviously better at close range.
Gotcha.
The shotgunner can go around a corner and just blast somebody in the face and dead instantly, whereas the machine gunner will take a couple seconds to fire. And you can modify that, like how long that takes, by whether they are moving or standing still, whether they are crouched or standing, whether they are already facing that direction or if they had to turn to face it. So there's a ton of different variables.
Like the big thing is you don't want to stay out in the open because you're going to get blown away. But when you're moving, your reaction time is slowed. Like all other things being equal, a guy that moved that turn is going to shoot slower than a guy that was already standing still waiting for you to move into his range.
That is correct.
So I have to get this guy out of the way, right? Like I have to get him out of the way, but he's moving, and that's going to make him less likely to... Man, I don't even know what to do, actually.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble, especially since the guy to the below him right there is probably going to turn around and shoot
this guy?
him.
Oh, I killed him.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah, I got him right at the end of the
right.
fight.
Okay, so in that case, run south.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so let's delete these turns and let's just bug the heck out of here.
And that right there is half cover, so you can, it's not gonna defend you fully. But if you're crouched, you're much less likely to be. I guess I forget exactly how that works actually, because it's not random whether you're shot.
Okay, gotcha.
It's pretty much going to work out the same way every time.
So I'm just trying to.
Well, see, now
was it.
What the problem was is you had him set to fire on sight.
Oh, I forgot to get rid of my aim. Yeah.
Right. So there are two different move modes. There's run regardless of what you see, and stop and shoot. So you've got basically conditional orders. So I can tell somebody keep running no matter what, or if you see a guy, shoot him.
Awesome.
But that also results in you getting shot sometimes.
What we were doing right there was just kind of an instant skirmish, like if you just want to get into the action super fast, and we were just controlling one side, but you can sort of simulate if the other side does this, will I win or lose this encounter. You can also generate a skirmish, using a bunch of different parameters.
Oh, I forgot about the Grenadier. There are 5 different classes.
Oh man, what this game is really all about though is multiplayer, right? So. Yes. This game does have complete online multiplayer.
And I believe it's cross-platform with PC, so you can play against somebody on PC with the iPad version.
Well, that I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't tested that yet, but that was the idea.
I hit the offline option, and now I'm trying to figure out how to get back online. I
think if you go to log in up at the right.
Okay, here we go. So you can log in and play on the internet. And if you play offline, there's also a campaign mode that sort of takes you through a story.
Yeah, it's got kind of a silly, overwrought story that we probably don't really care that much about. I mean, some people like it, I'm sure. But
I mean, I'm still getting my butt kicked by the AI, but the bottom line is, online multiplayer is where it's at.
Yep.
This has been Frozen Synapse. Dan, you reviewed this for GameSpy, right?
No, PC Gamer.
Oh, you reviewed it way back on PC Gamer.
Yep.
I don't remember what IGN score for Frozen Synapse was, but I know we liked it a lot. Pretty much every critic liked this game a lot. And we are going to be taking a look at the iPad version and letting you know, whether those UI issues do detract from the game or whether it's still just as fun as it is on PC.
The UI is the biggest concern. I think one thing that we should mention that this game has that a lot of this kind of game doesn't, like Leviathan Warships, for example. You can have. Because these turns are so complex to set up, it can take you like 10 minutes to set up a really complex turn.
Sure.
You don't want people sitting there waiting while you're doing that. So you can run multiple games at a time.
Sure, just have a bunch of asynchronous multiplayer games and then just, go through and take your turn. That makes a lot of sense for mobile.
Yep.
It is worth pointing out that this is iPad only. So
That's
if you're
true.
like me, I don't have a 3G iPad. So on my commute home, I can't really be playing the multiplayer then.
Yep.
But, you can't have everything you want, I guess.
That makes me a little sad, but I totally understand why, because there's no way this UI would work on an iPhone.
So I'm totally digging this, even if it is still very confusing for me. This is not sort of a casual iOS game. We are going to be letting you know more about, how close or far apart this is from the excellent PC version. But, in the meantime, this game is out today, and we just wanted to show you kind of a quick look at it. So, Dan, thank you for sort of, explaining to me a little bit more about Frozen Synapse's complexities.
I will be happy to give you a schooling.
Yes, I'm sure you will. After the anomaly schooling that I gave you,
That's
then,
true.
we'll...
Turnabout is fair play.
Yeah, we'll need to be even. So everybody at home, remember, we're always trying to surface sort of the hottest, newest iOS games for you. So make sure you're keeping it locked to IGN.com/wireless and YouTube.com/IGN mobile games.